Okay, hi. I'm not sure how long this one will be, but I have a lot of things to talk about. So, I want to get some logistics out of the way. I have a job now, so I'm just doing a job. Officially, the classes have started. If you didn't know, I'm a technical assistant, basically a glorified TA, teacher's assistant. Um, I hadn't like in my last audio I might have mentioned that I am not really working at all, but now I am because the classes have started. Christmas is over, New Year is over, winter break is over, classes have started, and it's been going nicely. Right now the only thing I do is manage the students, so if they have any questions, any doubts, anything, they come to me. My professor, he's the one taking the class, he's the one teaching, talking, most of that stuff. I do more like managing attendance and making sure everyone is on the same page, managing the group, stuff like this, communication between the two parties. This is my comfort zone. I did this when I was my class representative CR in my college. I feel right back at home. Couldn't be happier. Okay, it's been going nicely. I got paid my first salary ever. It was pretty weird because the salary came in like chunk instead of a whole month. They just gave the salary on the first of the month, and it was like half my salary basically. But anyways, it was really nice. I'm not really planning to spend it. I will just save it and go back home. My personal work, I have written 46 pages worth of thoughts. It's been going really nicely. I have color pens which I use to write. I use Actually, you know what? I'll let you guess. So I have four things, mainly four colors that I use the most. I write the date in a different color. I write the page number in a different color. I write bold points in a color. So basically, if anything in the page has to be highlighted, I write it in that color. And my thoughts, which are the most of what I write, in a one color, right? So all of these colors can be found in a box of crayons or whatever. The only, I would say, I'm using like felt tip pens, which are like very thin sketch pens basically. So yeah, it's been going nicely. I've written 46 pages since the 1st of January. So basically like 5 pages a day. But it's not like that. It's like I've written 15 pages in one day, and then I've written 2 pages in 2 days. So it's very erratic. I am kind of disappointed in myself that I haven't been doing as much as I wished I would, but I'm getting, because those days are my potential, right? Those days is what I should be doing every day. But sometimes I I just can't get myself to do it. Okay, but this is all just kind of catching you up. I have a very specific reason for recording this audio, and for this reason, I won't be posting it on Pillow Talk Audio or anything. It will go on my YouTube, my own subreddit, but not on Pillow Talk Audio, because I know I want to talk about this freely. I don't want to be bounded by any rules. So, in basically the situation is that I live in my, not, I don't live, but like I work in an office, right? It's a This is like a pretty big room with a lot of tables and chairs, right? Pretty big spacious room, and spacious tables, like huge tables. And in that, there are a couple of other people working, right? We don't really talk as much. We don't, we are not like colleague. I mean, we are colleagues, but like we are not working on the same thing. So I'm a teaching assistant. I'm involved with teaching. The other people, most of them are involved with other projects that the college is doing. A new colleague came today, and I, please bear with me. I know this will start off sounding immature and not very healthy, but I promise I'm. This is the whole audio is about this getting better. Okay, so a new colleague came in like a few days ago, and today one of my colleagues who I know, uh, I'll just use their initials, I guess. So P, I know P. Uh, she introduced me to the new colleague whose name is M. And um, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, because it's not really like we don't really talk to each other, right? But she introduced me to her, and I was like, oh yeah, hi, hello. And after a bit of talking, she revealed that she did her bachelor's in game design, and that's when it hit me why she introduced us. I must have, because I forget if I did this or not. I don't really do this with everyone, but I must have showed my shown my interest in game development, right? I didn't really show it fully because I don't say fully. Also, if I have not mentioned this, I'm planning to make at least one game per month for this whole year. If not, one game per week. I know it sounds insane, but I want to do this. I really want to do this. I don't want to just talk about games. I don't want to just criticize other people's games. I want to put myself out there on the battlefield, see if I can actually stand on what I say. I don't want to just sit, talk about other people, and not do anything myself. I know this is arrogant of me, but I know I can. I can do better, and I have to prove that, not just to other people, to myself. Anyways, so I don't really show all this passion to everyone, right? But I must have said something about game design that clicked her. So she introduced me. I got really excited and I talked to her for a bit, like talked about game designing. I said this thing that I want to make games for 1 month or whatever, right? If I didn't say, she looked pretty. But here's my here is where it all comes together. This audio, the point of this audio. I want to act normal around women, and okay, this already sounds so bad, but please bear with me. I know I'm trying to make it coherent, but this might be all over the place. This probably is already all over the place. I want you to stay with me. Just listen with me, my thoughts. So I have this. Oh, if I do one wrong move, if I do one wrong thing, this person will hate me forever. Right? I have this one thing, and you have no idea how many times someone hasn't texted me in a while or something. I go back and check every single message to see what could have gone wrong. I know this is not healthy. I'm trying to get away from it, but at least this is something that I can understand being a part of me. I can understand. I can accept this being me. What I can't accept is every time I talk to a woman, especially one who looks pretty to me, to my subjectiveness, whatever, um, always think of what should I do to make her like me more. Not romantically or attractively or anything like that, but just as a person, right? And how to keep her attention as much as possible. And this is not right. This is not what I should be doing. And I know I'm like 22 years old. This shouldn't be my first time realizing this. And this is not, I swear to God, this is not. But the point is that I haven't really been in a situation where I'm talking to people who don't have any obligation to talk to me. Like all my life. In school, people have been talking to me because I was like a somewhat smart kid. So smart as in like the theoretical, typical knows books very well. Not even books, just specifically school books. I mean, I knew other stuff as well, but the point being that they had a reason to talk to me. In college, I was literally the class representative. If you have to talk to the professor, you have to talk to me. Obviously, I talk to, and that is fine with me because then I don't know. I feel at home, as I said, when I'm helping other people. But in a situation like this where she has no reason to talk to me and I have no reason to talk to me, I feel like I have to make a small talk to keep her attention over time. And this is not right. This shouldn't happen. I've said this before. I think part of the reason, if I haven't, I'm saying this right now. Part of the reason definitely is actually, let me write some notes and trigger warnings and whatnot, just in case. Trigger warnings shouldn't be necessary, but I'll write them anyways. But as I was saying, I carry like 10 pens on me all the time. Okay. What was I writing? I was talking about Girl, I'll just write girl problems. Girl problem. Not that girls are the problem. I am the problem. Having the problem being talking to girls. But anyways, I'll also say this. I'm not trying to shift away blame for me, but part of the reason I'm like this is in general India, but specifically where I was as a in my childhood, my school and stuff, pretty not really progressive. Like we have bit backward thinking problems, so it can lead to behaviors like this. Okay, problem. Then I don't know. I'm just gonna keep the pen here. So, as I was saying, I wanna shift my focus. This is not really a physical thing as much as it's a mental thing. I am really scared all the time of not finding someone in my life romantically. I mean, and I wanna say, I'm I'm saying this all this relevant to 4 years ago. Okay, I'm still very scared of not finding someone romantically in my life. I'll always be. I think, I mean, maybe not, but I think I'll always be. And there's something about being able to share everything about you to someone that makes me feel like, yeah, I need to do this. I haven't really had any um, relationships, but I've had some encounters that you can call romantic, and I can, like, those are the parts of my life lives that I look at and go, yeah, I want that again. And I don't want like anything crazy. I just want a simple cottage relationship with someone I love, with someone who loves me, cares about me, and with someone I can share everything with me. Everything. Like, I want, this is, I was studying in philosophy of religion, philosophy of life, right? The concept of love. And there are basically two, broadly speaking, you can be one of two, um, I'm sorry if you heard my stomach gurgling. You can be of two schools of thoughts. You can be of two, what, camps. And you can be of others as well. I'm just pointing these two out. One is the modern idea of love where you have individuality and you seek out a person who challenges you, who grows with you, but still is a distinct person from you, and it still gives you space, gives you respect, whatever, right? And I totally understand that, totally, 100%. I respect that as well. But I am of the other camp, which is there is someone who who is going to fit you like a jigsaw puzzle, who is not a second person but rather your other half. And I want to say, I don't really believe in spirituality. I don't believe in uh you know what do you call it, I don't believe in miracles. I don't believe in supernatural, right? I wouldn't say I believe in soulmates either, but this is what I want. And I've seen this happen so many times. I've seen this happen so many times with so many people that they end up with someone. Some people end up when they are as young as 15, 16. I mean, with other 15, 16 year olds. I would say that's too young for anyone, but as old as 20 years old. 20 is pretty young, yeah, right? You are barely out of college. So much world to see. 20 is super young. Some people as late as 30s, 40s, they find someone who they're so happy with spending the rest of their lives with. This can't be, I don't know how it works. Logically speaking, and I might have mentioned this, I've kind of concreted in my head that there are two ways of thinking. One is logical and one is not logical. And logical way of thinking, I look at it and go, yeah, you two people meet with superficial interests and then they grow into each other, they grow into each other, they grow with each other, and they become the same person, right? They become not the same person, but like they become each other's halves. But my other part agrees with this. This is a pretty good explanation, I would say, why this phenomena happens. And I'm not sure how long I can record because I'm recording this in my office. Might need to stop anytime, but I can't. And again, in reference to me before 2024, 2020, or before I really started, when I came to college was 2022. So let's say before that, because after that, when I started this whole endeavor of making audios, I found friends, and some of those friends are invaluable to me, and that kind of made me realize that friends are far more important than I thought. Far more, far more integral to my life than I gave them credit for. Because I always thought of friends as okay. I always thought of friends as yeah, friends are cool. I spend time with them, play with them, whatever. But ultimately, there is my other half who I need to find. Then I'll find peace, my peace. But I have to agree that the friends I found, I don't feel like there is a I don't have words, I guess. I do feel like the friends that I've made have done the same to me, have made me grow in certain ways, have grown into me, have affected me in ways that I can never forget, because I don't know. I guess it's just I haven't really been taken care of that much. I have never felt as appreciated as I have in the online space ever. And I personally blame myself for, like, not blame, but like I always ask myself why romantically? What is the point of that? Obviously, there's the physical side of it, right? Being able to be physically affectionate with someone, but and that usually comes with exclusivity. But I also just don't have friends, and I said this before. For whatever reason, my brain just doesn't like male friends. Like it's not like I don't like them. I have male friends. I enjoy. I would say I have more male friends than I have female friends, but I I I just feel more safe, more at home, more happy around women. I don't know how to explain that. I'm sorry. I have. You might be annoyed at me for saying that. Oh, because I understand that. I totally understand. You being angry. Like, oh, you like friends. Oh, if I am a female friend, right? You like me just because I'm a female. That's not true at all. There are female people I mean, women who I don't like as well. So if you are my friend, then it's not just because you're a woman. But I can understand the frustration that what does gender have to do anything with friendship. And I agree with you 100%. I don't have an answer for that. I wish I did have an answer for why I like women friends more than I like male friends. I have no idea. I appreciate everyone who has said it's fine, it's not a big deal, or whatever. Like they understand. Everyone who has related to me, because I definitely feel more validated when a woman reassures me than a male or men do. I don't know why. I guess there's certain value I give to certain people, and my general experience with women just has been much better, and with men has been much worse. Not saying all men are bad, obviously, but generally speaking, has been much better for me, which is why it always hurts me right in the heart whenever I see women being mistreated. especially when toxic feminism is used as a crutch to support misogyny. Because yes, feminism exists. I'll just write this down. Toxic feminism exists, but so does toxic misogyny. And I would say there is, first of all, no form of misogyny that's not toxic. But more importantly, while toxic feminism does ruin lives, I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. There, in India, there has recently been a case where, because of the way Indian system works, legal system, right? Indian legal system heavily favors women in a lot of things, and because of the nature of the investigation conducted, just the bias, uh, seems like we are looking at a pretty high profile case of uh, unfair feminism. Unfair, I mean, this is not feminism. Feminism is meant to bring equality, not favoritism towards women. But my point is that I understand that the toxic feminism exists and it can ruin lives, but the system itself from the core is misogynistic. I'm talking about India. I'm very sure this applies to almost every country in the world. The core itself is misogyny. I can't hear jokes about misogyny because that's the problem. Like, we have just baked it so much into our daily routine that it's a problem from the core. And I'm sorry, I'm just going on this rant, but my point is I hate it. I hate what was the point? Okay, let me steer myself back. My point was that I want to talk to this person, M, right? My new friend. Uh, I'll also say this. I wanted to share my Instagram really badly because nowadays, I mean, I don't use Instagram at all, but I posted like a few animations and stuff. And I think most young people, I mean, I'm saying young as if I'm old, but most people my age use Instagram as the main method of communication because sharing your phone number is too intimate. But if you want to talk to someone over chat or something, I think Instagram is the middle ground. Wanted to share it to her. Couldn't really think of a good way because we both are interested in game design to some degree, right? So I wanted to establish a connection. I think I did a pretty decent job of not making it awkward, just sharing it normally. I offered her that I can give my Instagram ID to you. She said, yeah, sure. And she just gave me her phone and I typed it out and then gave it back to her. I actually looked up on the Google and then ChatGPT as well how do I do this procedure without being awkward. I looked at both. ChatGPT was like decent. It wasn't anything particularly good. Um, I saw some stuff on Reddit as well. How do I share contacts or whatever? But anyways, coming back to my point, I'm making this audio partly to have myself be accountable for this. I don't want to. I just want to be friends with her. I just want to be friends with this girl. I just want to, just to be clear, she's a working person. She works here, not a student. My colleague, as I said. But I want to be friends with her. I want to treat her like I treat my friends. I don't want to do something that I wouldn't do to a friend. I know this sounds so easy, and it is easy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the only reason I'm saying this is because I feel like it's been so long since I've really interacted with someone in this way. I hope someone is not recording this bloody room. I'm alone in this room. This is a public place, but it's like 8 in the evening and no one should be here at all. I have no idea why someone would just leave a recording phone here, but I hope that's not the case. Anyways, as I was saying, I just want to be normal. That sounds so weird. This is why I said, please bear with me, because it's so difficult, to have. Because as I said, especially with my anxiety of like, oh, I say one wrong thing and this person will just leave me immediately. Because has that happened to me? I'm not sure. Might have. But wouldn't want that to happen for sure. And you know, I understand a lot of different things. Like I think I haven't really talked about dating apps. Oh wait, I have. Right. Now I remember I have previously. In short, in even in dating apps, I've been trying to be normal, frank. I've always been, at least in dating apps, I've always been frank, because how how will I? And when I say frank, I don't mean like disrespectful or anything. I frank as in like I say when I am interested in someone. Because in India, I don't know if this makes sense to you as probably a non-Indian. In India, people don't flirt with each other over dating apps. And I say people, I mean most people I know. They don't flirt with people on dating apps. I genuinely feel like I am misplaced in this country. I don't mean to say that as like, oh, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not trying to be, all high and mighty. I genuinely feel so out of place in this country, because there's so many things that just feels wrong to me. And everyone else is like, oh yeah, this is normal. And then when I turn around and talk to or read something on the internet that's from a different country, people agree with me that this is weird, or that the other thing is normal, right? For example, dating amongst teenagers, so ostracized in India, nobody does it. People barely hold hands when they're married. This isn't normal. And I'm talking about the fashion city of India. I'm talking about one of the biggest cities in India, all of them. And this happens. Small towns are far worse where I come from. I swear to God, I feel like this isn't where I belong, which is I want to go out sometime. I feel I have a better chance of finding if my soulmate Also, I wanna say this exists. I was going to say if my soulmate exists, but I also wanna say I've always felt very bad about um see objectifying anyone in any way. I felt uncomfortable about, right? I was reading this on Reddit, but I've also thought of this on my own, that whenever I compliment someone, right, I tend to compliment either their hairstyle or their fashion, and if they have a tattoo. I've done all three. I've complimented someone on their shoes, sometimes their interests like hobbies or something. Sometimes one occasion their tattoo, on one occasion their hairstyle. Because complimenting someone, like eyes is a one that I hear a lot. Complimenting someone in the eyes, and I laughed. I'll tell you why I laughed. But complimenting someone on the eyes, on their height or something like this, that doesn't feel like a compliment, because that they didn't do anything, right? And I'm saying this, I don't know how that will feel from the other side, but I'm saying this because I feel like weird saying, oh, you look beautiful, because they didn't do anything. It's a different thing to say your makeup looks beautiful, your eyeliners look beautiful. I've said that to friends before, that your eyeliner looks beautiful. This is one something that I say a lot, because they put effort in it, right? When I realized how much effort goes into makeup, I was really impressed, and that made me realize like, oh, this is a really nice place to compliment someone on, because it compliments both their looks and something that they put effort in. But as I was saying, the reason I laughed, by the way, was because someone was on Reddit. Someone said this. Someone said, "Go approaches girl, mind blanks out. Then in panic, they write in all caps, your breath is really nice." Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to say this. Wanted to get this off my chest, basically. because I think it's easy to think about it that I'll act normally or whatever, but I have to be serious about it. And I want to be frank with you guys as well. I don't want to have like a barrier between us, right? Obviously, there's a chance that someone will find this offensive or whatever, and it's a risk I'm willing to take because I know for a fact that there are people who listen to this and not judge me. I hope if you suddenly turn your if it suddenly change your mind, please let me know in comments or whatever. But as far as I remember, I have a few friends who will understand what I'm trying to say. And again, I am more than anything waiting for that one exclusive romantic partner, right? Feels weird to say this. Again, I don't really understand what the point of a romantic exclusive partner is, but it definitely, I definitely feel a hole in my life. It might just be lack of friends, to be honest, but there is a hole, and it is there. But yeah, I don't know. Happy New Year, by the way. I forgot completely. Was my last audio after or before New Year? I mean, recorded. I'll check. I forgot completely. I should have bought my mic here. I can now record. Like, if I'm staying late, I can definitely record in my. So, this was 2 weeks ago. So, this must, excuse me, must have been before before Christmas. Oh, sorry, before New Year. So, Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well. Hope the New Year has been treating you well, fairly, as you deserve. It's getting dinner time, so I'll go and eat dinner. Living alone has been a ride. I'll maybe talk about this in another audio, but yeah. Um, I wish. I always felt internet is the best place for a lot of reasons, but I feel internet is one of the places where people can find comfort in outside of their lives, like daily lives. Because one second, my friend just texted, so I'll one second. Yeah, I think I have to go, but I I hope if you don't mind, I don't usually say this, but if you don't mind, um, I would like to hear what your thoughts are on what I'm doing. Again, this is more of a mental thing than anything. Trying to be less relationship oriented and more friend oriented because what it does is what it's supposed to do, at least to me, is let go of the pressure that the idea of a relationship brings, right? Because friends you can treat, I would say I treat my friends with the most respect I have, but what I mean to say is you can be more casual around friends. You have more, I feel like you have more, I mean, ideally when you are in a relationship you would have much more, you would be most open around them. But my point is when you're dating someone or when you are trying to impress someone, you have a much more, you have to be your best or whatever, right? Whereas with friends, no matter at what stage of friendship you are, right, you can be pretty much yourself right from the beginning, right? That's kind of my point, that that's what I'm trying to do with the change in mindset. To let me know what you think of it, if you don't mind. Obviously I understand not everyone wants to comment or whatever, but if you feel like you have the energy, I would like to hear it. What do you think of, I mean, this is, let's be honest, nobody is hearing this. This is 35 minutes in. But if you do, let me know. I would appreciate that. And yeah, if you're a guy listening to this, I'm so sorry that I said I don't really like guys. I mean, I don't like guys romantically for sure. I like guys like normally, I mean, to talk and stuff. I just prefer women much more. I think part of the reason is this is everywhere, but especially where I was in my school, guys would the way they would show friendship and whatever is through like a very brutal teasing and stuff, which I didn't really like. Like I didn't like it back then, and when I experienced friendship with a woman, which is usually very chill, as a much more happier. And as I said, I have guy friends as well. Real life, I have more guy friends than women. So make of that as you will. I don't want to offend anyone, but I also don't want to lie and say something that I don't mean. But yeah, if you're a woman, when is Women's Day? I keep forgetting this. The weirdest thing is we had a guy who all of us kind of called out for having like misogynistic views or whatever very openly, because usually, at least in our college, which is pretty forward-thinking, open-minded college, even if people are misogynistic, they usually don't say stuff that would indicate that. Women's Day. But this guy didn't understand this or something. Yeah, March 8th. And I just said stuff, and his birthday is on Women's Day. So that's some bit of irony for you. But, anyways, I hope you are doing well. I know I'm still trying to understand how to word these things properly. I'll be honest, I'm not even fully unwrapped yet, if that makes sense, you know? So I hope you're willing to give me some time and some if you feel like I've said something that I shouldn't have, let me know. I'm always open to change and learning and growing. Okay, this is the thing where there's a really nice post on Tumblr or something where there is only so much time we have together. So instead of leaving, linger on my door, and that's what I'm doing. Trying not to leave, but anyways, I'll go. I hope you are doing well. Have a happy new year. Hope it's been treating you well and continues to do so. See you hopefully soon. I can't promise, but hopefully soon. Bye bye.